Abu Dhabi Dude! Hi there, this is Abu Dhabi Dude! Welcome back. And it is update time. I just started the car up and got this message on my infotainment screen telling me that a new software update is available to download. Which is nice. It seems like it's been a while since the last one somehow, but maybe that's just me. Time's been passing a bit weirdly this year. I don't know if you feel the same, but it does feel like a while since I had my last one. So yeah, I will very quickly go through the update process for you in case you're new to my channel or new to the car and you haven't seen a software update in action yet. But if you want to see the update process in much more detail, then have a look at my very first software update video. I'll stick a link to it up at the top of the screen there for you. It is quite a simple process, but I'm sure it can be quite daunting when you first get into your 60 to 90,000 pound car and have to click on install now. So I'll just quickly bounce through it, but it will be very much summarized. There'll be a lot more detail in that other video if you want to watch that. So you get two options. You've got install now or remind me later. Remind me later just means that the pop-up window will disappear, the software won't update, and the next time you start the car you'll get that message again, and so on until you select to install it. One thing to be aware of is you need about 30 minutes with the car running for that update to install. You can use the sat nav, you can use the infotainment, you can use the music while it's downloading and installing, but the car has to be switched on. So if you're just on a 5-minute drive to the shops or something, then you want to select remind me later for that. But if you've got a 30-minute or more drive ahead of you, click install now and then just leave it to do its thing. Get on with driving, using the sat nav, playing your music, get to the other end of your drive, park up, turn the car off, and when you come back the software will have updated and you will be ready to use the new software. So obviously in this case I am going to click install now, because otherwise this would be a really pointless video. So you click install now and you get this screen which basically tells you that it's downloading the software. Don't panic that there isn't a little sort of progress bar at the bottom of the screen saying 1%, 2%, 3% progress. It doesn't do that for some reason, but you just have to be confident. If you're on this screen, it is downloading. Don't panic. This one's a 43 megabyte download for me. Depending on what version you're updating from, it might be a different size for you, but if you're updating from S21C, then it should be a 43 meg update. Takes about 20 to 25 minutes to download and then about another 5 minutes to install. So the whole process, as I say, is about 30 minutes. So having done that, I will leave that to download now, and while it's downloading, let's just go through some of the updates that are in this one. A lot of minor ones, some very region specific ones, and one big one that I think most of you are really going to appreciate. So we'll start off with a feature that's only relevant if you are in the Hong Kong market. I'm not sure that any of my viewers are from Hong Kong, but if you are, leave me a comment down below, let me know. It's nice to know where people come from that watch the channel. If I've got anyone from Hong Kong, I'd be interested to know that, so leave me a comment. And that is that the Baidu Car Life feature has now been enabled. So if you're in Hong Kong, you may find that really useful. Second thing relates to the USB media player. If you use a USB media stick, a flash drive for your music, then media player will now not only remember the track number, but it will remember the position on the track, the playlist path that it was on, whether shuffle was enabled, whether repeat was enabled, etc, etc. So basically now, whenever you get in the car, it should pick up exactly from where you were before on the track that it was playing, and follow the correct playlist path with shuffle enabled or disabled, etc., exactly as you left it, which will be useful for a lot of people, I'm sure. I use Apple CarPlay, so that one's not relevant to me, but I know quite a few people do like to have a USB stick with all the music on it. Then a correction or a fix for the Bluetooth application. Now the Bluetooth device connection status will be correctly displayed after you've switched off Bluetooth on your phone. Basically, from what I can remember, and I have seen this in the past, that if your phone was connected via Bluetooth and you then switched off the Bluetooth on your phone, the car would still show it as being connected. I think I'm right in saying. But now it updates so that it doesn't show that the phone's connected once you switch off Bluetooth. It's a very niche bug. I mean, I'm not sure how many people switch Bluetooth off after they start driving, but anyway, it's been fixed. Then again, this is a very niche bug which not many people have seen, but if you use valet mode, then after exiting valet mode, the iPhone will no longer be detected twice. So previously, when you left valet mode, when you switched valet mode off, if you had an iPhone connected, it would be picked up as a Bluetooth device and an iPod. Only when you came out of valet mode, and I've no idea why that would be. But anyway, that's been fixed now, so the iPod part has disappeared. Climate control, there's some general stability improvements to the climate control. Don't know what that means. And then one that I haven't seen at all, but they say they fixed it, so if you have seen it, you shouldn't see it anymore. The climate control will no longer switch itself off in the lower screen without the user input, without you pressing the off button. I've never seen the climate control turn itself off, but if you have, that's been fixed. Instrument panel cluster, again, I have mine permanently in dark mode, but previously, if you changed mode from light to dark or dark to light, the album art for the song you were currently playing disappeared from the instrument panel cluster. So if you have your media showing on the dashboard part of the car, it would remove the album art for the current song on that display. It doesn't do that anymore. The album art stays firmly and securely in place. Again, Spotify, general stability improvements. Nothing specifically pinpointed there. If you're in Sweden, again, I don't know if any of my viewers are from Sweden. If you are, leave me a comment down below and let me know. Just curiosity on my part more than anything else. But they've improved Swedish language translations, so I'm sure that will be a benefit for you if you are in Sweden. Another one which I'm not sure exactly what it's referring to, but they say the low traction friction launch will now be available when needed. Now, I have used this quite a lot during the winter, actually, because I live on a street. The end of my road turns onto a hill. It's quite a steep hill. It's quite often untreated in the winter, especially really early in the morning. We're quite late on the list for gritting. So quite often when I'm leaving in the morning, the road's been untreated. And I have, on many occasions, turned the low traction friction launch on. Also, the roads at my work are quite often untreated. They're private roads and quite often untreated. So again, I've used it there quite extensively. I've never had an issue with it not being available when it should be. So I don't know exactly what this refers to, but apparently it's now available when needed, which is nice. On your phone, it says the correct caller ID will now always be displayed on the instrument panel cluster and the tile on the infotainment screen. I have seen incorrect caller ID being displayed very occasionally, so that apparently has now been fixed. One for the steering wheel controls, they say there's some general stability improvements to the steering wheel controls. Now, I have never had an issue with the steering wheel controls. I've never seen a stability problem there, but they say the stability has been improved. Now, the all-encompassing general stability improvements for the overall system. Again, always nice to see, but it's very hard to pinpoint exactly what they mean by that. And timed charging. I wish Jaguar would just implement timed charging the way almost everybody seems to expect it to work. I don't know why they insist on going down the path they've gone down, but it means that myself and pretty much most I-Pace owners, I think, don't actually use the timed charging or preferred charging feature in the I-Pace. But if you do, now, if there are no timed charging events available, which I take it as meaning if you haven't set a departure time, preferred charging period will now always switch off. I mean, so now, and I didn't realise this wasn't the case in all honesty, but now you have to set a departure time, is how I interpret this. You have to set a departure time if you want your preferred charging time to switch on. I mean, if anybody's using the preferred charging stuff in the I-Pace, just don't. If you're on iOS, download MyPace. If you're on Android, download WhatCat and do it through that. It's just easier. It really is. But anyway, they've changed it again. And from how I'm reading it, it's not an improvement. Anyway, maybe that's just me. Let me know what you think about I-Pace's timed charging or preferred charging period functionality and implementation. Anyway, moving on to more positive ones, and the big one. This one comes in two parts. One of them I don't really understand exactly what it's referring to because I've never seen it, but it's the navigation system. It now says the side panel, so that's the left third of the sat-nav screen on the infotainment screen. You get that left third or right third if you're in a left-hand drive country, where that panel appears, which will either, you can select what you want to appear in that panel, but it says it will now display the correct navigation information. I don't, in all honesty, know what it's referring to. I've never noticed it displaying incorrectly, but if you have, that has now been fixed. But the main one, and the one that makes it worth downloading this update just on its own, all markets except China and Japan, sadly, and I'm deeply sorry from any Chinese or Japanese viewers out there. I don't think there are any, but again, if you're from China or Japan, leave me a comment. I'd love to know. But I'm afraid this patch doesn't, or this specific portion of the patch doesn't apply to you. The navigation login has been fixed. Da, 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 da. Yay, this is a massive deal for me and quite a lot of my viewers and quite a lot of people in the I-Pace forums as well, I know. Anyone not familiar with the problem, the sat-nav logs you out. Every time you start the car, you have to log back into the sat-nav if you want to use any of the connected features on the sat-nav. So if you want it to sync to your, to the Jaguar in-control route planner, for example, if you want, if you program your next route in the house the night before you depart and then get in the car, you would have to type in your password and log into the sat-nav every time, or it wouldn't be able to access that route plan. All those kind of things wouldn't work without logging in. It also discouraged you from having a really secure password on your sat-nav because you had to type it in every time you got in the car. But that is now finally, thank you Jaguar, and I mean that, thank you Jaguar, fixed. So it should now retain your login information every time you get in the car without you having to type your password in. That is such a relief. So yeah, that is S21A. the full version number, just to give you that. Sorry, I've got that printed out here. The full version number is S21A underscore 21.10.6 dash 676616, in case you were wondering. But yeah, so that's it downloaded. You then get this screen which says once it's downloaded, it then starts installing, and this part takes about 5 minutes. I will edit it down so you don't have to sit and watch the whole process, but that's telling you that it's installing to the car. Once that is done, you get this message saying that the software is now installed and it will be available to use when you next cycle the car. So next time you turn it off and back on again. So we're going to do that now. You have to basically turn the car off. It takes a few minutes, so you have to turn the car off, leave it off, let it churn for a few minutes. The best method is just to, as I say, do it when you're going to be driving for more than half an hour. When you get to the other end, just turn the car off as you would normally, get out, lock the car, and by the time you come back it will be done. But for the demonstration, I'm going to turn the car off.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Sorry, Siri seems to have decided that I'm trying to talk to her. So I'll turn the car off. I will simulate getting out of the car by opening and closing the door. I'll then lock it, and then you're basically just waiting for everything to shut down. You can hear the fans winding down, etc, etc. But as I say, this is just me doing it for the video. In reality, you'll just park your car and walk away, and then the next time you come back to it, this will be done. But having done all that, we then unlock the car, open the door again because I'm getting in now. Turn the car back on, and once it boots up, you will be in. And if I now go to the infotainment, press on settings, then select all settings, then select software update, and you'll see that I updated 13th of May, version S21A, and all those numbers, and that's the latest version. So there you go, that's the update process. That's you been basically walked through it very quickly. I say there are other videos with it in more detail if you want to see that, but this is just a very quick guide for anyone that's not familiar with the process. The main part of the video is the discussion about what's in the software update. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Have you had S21A? Are you still waiting for it? Have you seen any benefits? Have you not seen any benefits? Is your sat-nav staying logged in now? It's very early days for me to be able to say, but obviously as time goes on we'll become more aware of that. But fingers crossed they've actually fixed it this time. Let's hope. So let me know, and then don't forget to do all the usual good stuff. If you give me a thumbs up and like the video, that's very helpful for the channel, as is subscribing. That's hugely boosts their visibility on YouTube. And if you do subscribe, if you click on that little bell symbol, then you will get a notification every time I upload a new video. And you can also share the videos with any of your friends that think might be interested in it. And if you do want to subscribe, don't forget you can do that right now by clicking on my ugly little face over there. And don't forget to check out some of my other videos, please, like this one up there. That's it for me. Till next time, this is Abu Dhabi Dude saying so long, take care, see you soon. Bye. Abu Dhabi Dude.